According to a new poll, 80% of Americans say the cost of prescription drugs is unreasonable, and almost 1 in 4 say they or a family member has not filled a prescription of pills or cut a prescription in pills in half or skipped doses because of the cost. And Dr. Mike Varshavski is here with us now. And Dr. Mike, explain, and this is a question probably everybody asks, why are prescription drug costs so high?
Curtis, that's a fantastic question. I appreciate you having me on to discuss this tough but important subject. Frankly, our system when it comes to pharmaceuticals in the United States is broken. There are middlemen who are taking profits for themselves and not passing savings along to consumers. The way that the pharmaceutical industry is run, it's run more like a hedge fund than a healthcare industry. And it's disappointing to me because I have patients, like specifically earlier this week, I had a young mother of 2 who's working to sustain paying her bills. And unfortunately, she's suffering because these pharmaceutical prices are increasing so drastically. From 2006 to 2014, prices have skyrocketed by 57% for drugs. And it's putting a strain and financial burden on patients, like thinking about this single mom, where they're unable to pay for their medications or they have to skip doses, and that's truly unfortunate that it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, financially it affects you, but their health. I mean, what are you seeing from your patients that, how this is affecting their health by not fulfilling their prescriptions?
Well, think about how difficult this is for a doctor. I have 15 minutes to spend with a patient. Not only do I have to create a rapport with them, understand what their illness is, give them the correct treatment plan, but now I have to move into thinking about how are they going to afford to pay for this medicine? How can I get them extra help in doing the proper financials in order to pay for the cost of the medicine? So it creates a tremendous burden, not only financially, but also in a time sense for a doctor to deliver quality care. That's why I always tell my patients, you have to be an advocate for yourself. You have to find what the most reasonable alternatives are for your medicines. Part of that is talking to your doctor, and part of that could be doing research on your own. A piece of advice I give to my patients is there are websites and apps like Blink Health, for example, where they can go on the website, download the app, purchase the medicine that they need directly from the app at the lowest cost possible, either have it delivered to their home or go to their local pharmacy. You can use Winn-Dixie, Duval Pharmacy, and pick up their medicines with their doctor's prescription at the lowest cost possible and save themselves some money.
This is really helpful. I love this. How can our viewers take a look at this app and get more information about it?
You can visit the website at www.blinkhealth.com and find out which medicine that you need, get the price, and make an educated decision.
Appreciate your time, Doc. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you so much, Curtis.
Good info all of us can use. Thanks to Blink Health for bringing us that great information. We'll be right back.